let's quickly speak about gaining confidence as a speaker, right? Majorly daily activities that help you gain confidence as a speaker. Let's be honest, your brain believes what it hears and what you do regularly. Your brain is neuroplastic, it's more than a computer, it records events, right? And from there it forms your belief about yourself and your self-perception. So there are certain activities you can do on a daily basis that will help you develop confidence in yourself, like have that trust in yourself when it comes to speaking. So very quickly, let me jump into that. Number one, it's do one thing that scares you per day. Do one thing that scares you regularly. So let's say for instance, you are scared of speaking up in a meeting. Do it as often as possible, right? Let's say today now you have a meeting coming up, right? In the meeting, try and speak up. If that's something that scares you, right? So activities that make you, once you are called to do them, you go crumbling, you start dumbing yourself down. Those activities, try and do them, right? Speaking to a stranger, speaking up in a meeting, just something that scares you. One activity per day that scares you, try and jump on them. And you see, your brain has a way of recording those events. So when the big moment shows up, you remember, I remember I was once scared about so thing, but I did it anyway. I was scared to speak up in meetings. I spoke up the other day. So this one I can do it too. It has a way of fueling your courage back. And when the big moments come that you need to show up with courage, those moments speak up. Right? So do one thing that scares you. Because you know courage and confidence comes from one, I was scared, but I did it anyway at the time. One, I was terrified, but I jumped into action anyway at the time. That's how confidence comes. So do one thing that scares you per day. Yeah, it's one daily routine that can help you gain confidence as a speaker. Then number two is reflection, right? Now, you don't want thing that scares you, right? Take a step back, reflect on the experience. Don't just do one thing that scares you. Take a step back, reflect on that experience. Is there a way I could have done it better? Like for instance, speaking up in a meeting. Let's say you were speaking up in a meeting and your boss was telling you, can you raise your voice? We can't hear you. Wow, that's something to work on. You say, okay, next time I'll try and make sure my volume is up. Nobody should tell me to raise my voice, right? Or when you were talking, you had your shoulders slouched. You say, okay, no, next time when I'm speaking, I will speak with my shoulders up and I will speak confidently, right? This right here is the difference between repetition and iteration. I once made a post that iteration is a vital tool for public speaking development, right? And what that means is you find a better way to show up next time. You find a better way to show up next time. You find a way to better show up next time, right? You find a way to do it better. Instead of just repeating the activities, doing it again and again. Repetition is powerful, it's good, but iteration is much more powerful, right? It speeds up the progress rate. And instead of you just doing it, you take a step back and reflect on the experience. Is there a way I could have done it better? From personal reflection, then also getting feedback from people. What was the major mistakes you spot? Like for instance, you could be doing some things you're not aware of. Like for instance, a female, you're speaking and you are twirling, you're playing with your hair. Your friend will be able to tell you, wow, you're actually playing with your hair or fiddling with your hair. You know that that's something not to do. You can keep that for when you're with your boyfriend or husband, right? When it's time to speak, it's a good time. You speak confidently, right? So, first, you do one thing that scares you per day. Second, you take stock of those experiences and try and find a way to show up better next time, right? And that way your courage bank begins to load up and begins to build up, right? So finally, first I said you do one thing that scares you. Number two, you reflect on the experience. And finally, show up with intention daily, right? Be intentional. So okay, today I'm going to be intentional on my energy. Let's say for instance now, you have a struggle. Whenever you're speaking to people, you usually have your shoulders slouched or you you are not so confident speaking in crowd, you can say, okay, I'm going to be intentional today. Whenever I'm speaking to anybody, I'm going to speak confidently. Whenever I'm speaking to anybody, I will make sure I stand with my shoulders up and not have my shoulders slouched. So intentionality, show up with intention daily. And it comes from you spotting your areas of weakness that affects your disposition whenever you get to speak. If it's having your shoulders slouched, if you're not projecting very well with your voice, right? Be intentional. Okay, today, this is some of my weakness. In my personal interaction, one-on-one interactions, when I get to speak in a group, I will try and do something differently from what my weakness is. So if it's shoulder slouch, you correct that. If it's vocal volume, you correct that. So showing up with intention. So first, do one thing that scares you per day. Number two, it's reflect on those experiences. And number three, show up with intention daily. Yeah, this is how you get to develop confidence as a speaker. These are just daily activities that you can do. Just as you go about your normal activities, your day, that would build up your confidence, right? And when the big moment shows up, wow, you have something, your mind has something to refer you back to that will fuel you into action. So that's it. Cheers.